evening. I'd like to call the Merrillville Town Council meeting for Tuesday, October the 22nd, 2019 to order. It is now 6:30 p.m. Please stand for the invocation by Pastor Raleigh Hatfield of Trinity Free Methodist Church. And please remain standing and please remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you today and ask your blessings upon these proceedings. Be with each and every council member and all of those here who serve the people. Bless the decision-making process. Bless the deliberation. Lord, give every good provision for every good work as they seek to do what is best for our town. Be with them, Lord, and bless them in every way. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Guernsey.
Span.
Here.
Minchuk.
Here.
Uselak.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Pettit.
Here.
Lamarca.
Here.
And Hardaway.
Here. 7 present. We have a quorum. Petitions, communications, acknowledgements, and remonstrations. Mr. Burton.
We have nothing at this time. We have nothing at this time.
Thank you. Consent agenda, Council Payable Register Voucher approval for October 22nd, 2019, along with the approval of Town Council meeting minutes for October the 8th.
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Uzelak, second by Councilwoman Barron, that we approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 7-0. Standing committees, Budget and Finance, Councilwoman Barron.
No report.
Public Works, Councilman Minchuk.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. President, through Jeff's committee, maybe to the chief and to Pat and to Steve, I've got some issues out on East 97th Avenue between Grand Boulevard and Randolph, Steve, that we need to get with maybe the chief and Kevin Markle. I'm going to need some hidden driveway signs, some speed limit signs, and I'd also like to ask Barry to get on a patrol. Joe, you know that area as well as I do, and sit in somebody's drive for a period of time if we could. I've gotten some complaints about high speed, 50 to 65 miles an hour going down 97.
That's basically due to the NIPSCO's closing the
reroute
down
of Randolph, yeah.
So it's been real hectic, and
Yeah.
they ain't been doing the contractor that's been doing the work out there hasn't been the best contractor as far as closing the roads down.
Okay.
It go according to.
I'll get with you guys after the meeting.
I think that's the major cause of that speeding vehicles. Everybody get frustrated.
Yeah, they're concerned about school bus traffic and a couple kids not paying attention, and
Right.
So-
But right now, 93rd's open the county line, so I think in Randolph's back open, I think that'll alleviate that problem.
okay.
Council Affairs, Councilwoman Lamarca.
No report tonight.
Personnel Policy, Employee Benefits, Councilman Pettit.
Yes, Mr. President, we had a personnel employee benefits meeting before the council meeting to look at our health insurance renewal. We will make a proposal to the full council at the November 12th meeting, and there are packets of information for those members that didn't attend with Mr. Reardon.
Public Safety, Councilwoman Uzelak.
Yes, we've had a lot of branches with this wind and the last 2 days of the storm. And I did call Kevin. He did have a tree picked up that was uprooted. And right now we have more branches. So I'm hoping we could get the public works out to the 4th Ward.
Well,
I'm sure it's all over though.
thank you. Yeah, but
Okay.
they're out right now doing branches anyway.
Okay.
So just tell your neighbors they got to be patient. They'll get
Yes.
to them.
Okay, thank you.
Parks and Recreation, Councilwoman Lamarca.
I do not have anything but Jan.
Yes, I have a couple of things. Matt Lake shared with me a grant through the Little Kell River Basin Project. We're trying to take advantage of their need to mitigate through a tree grant. So I've selected 4 parks to receive 30 trees from the town of Merrillville's tree species list. I've developed a planting plan for the trees and are now receiving quotes. Once those quotes are received, I will send that off to Matt, who will send that off to Dan Repay in hopes that we can take advantage of the grant. And we'll continue to do this as long as it's available. I just want to mention Town Hall Trick or Treat will take place on October 31st from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Also, with the consideration and approval of tonight's resolution, the park will be able to take advantage of a 6535 playground grant for Crescent Lake Park. And I would like to thank Kevin and the Public Works crew for helping the park department and the new plantings of the islands at Town Hall. And the last thing I have on my list tonight is Census 2020 will begin in January. We are organizing a team that will work together to get a complete count for Merrillville. And the Census Bureau is now hiring. If anybody's interested, you could do two things. 8585 Broadway is the address for the census office in Merrillville. You can fill out an application there, or you can go on the census website at 2020census.gov/jobs and fill out an application. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
And you will be going to Dyer next week?
Yes, on the 29th at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
And how much money are we getting for the Crescent Lake Park out of the grant?
$6,500, which will reduce it from $18,000 down to $12,000.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Environmental Affairs, Councilwoman Barron.
I have no report, Matt.
Yeah, Dyer Construction finished installing the concrete box culvert on Taft Street, just north of 73rd. Just to let you know, they finished the project in 7 days, start to finish. They had 20 days to do it. So they did a great job getting it in, and so I want to commend them on a job well done. We also presented at the Little Calumet River Basin Commission on their October 9th meeting on our study that was done on the Upper Meadowdale watershed, and it was very well received. We are in the process of land acquisition and then acquiring partners, including the Lake County Surveyor and City of Gary, City of Hobart, and Little Cal as partners to get engineering started for this effort, and also to then look at construction through federal grants and other cost share efforts. So this whole complex would be about $17 million project of storage up in the Gary area, where there's properties there that have been vacant for many years. And also we're going to be finishing up our mowing at Crescent Lake, I guess you'd call it. So we had sprayed through our contractor Cardno. The Phragmites has died back significantly. They're going to go through with their Marsh Master and get that cut down. And then the spring, they're going to do a wetland seed mix, and they're going to manage it for the next year. And we just ordered our Marsh Master, which will be ready in the spring. So we'll have that available. So we'll be able to do a lot more with that piece of equipment. And that's all I have.
One thing, I think we had this conversation once before about that 3/4 right there at the end of Jackson, 55th Lane and 56th Avenue, that one storm sewer that sits down in the street. The lady wants it moved up into the grass. We talked about that a long time ago. You remember that?
Yeah, I'll get with you after the meeting on that one.
If you can take a look at it again, I appreciate it. Yeah. And also, we did meet to talk about with Gary Sanitary District and IHCD and MCD to start some dialogue on some remedies for the North End, Meadowdale, Meadowland subdivisions. So everybody stay tuned for that. I think that we had great dialogue the first time around, and we will continue meeting until we come up with a resolution that nobody ever gets any more sanitary sewer in their basements. Great job, Matt. I appreciate your initiative in undertaking this thing. I think it's going to be a win for everybody.
Well, thanks for your leadership.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Matt Lake for the work that was done on Taft Street. It's over there by the golf course. It gets pretty dangerous around this time of the year. That water freezes over. That was a great job. My neighbors are very thankful.
Well, thank you. And we're also going to be modifying right now the basin behind the Dairy Queen as well. We're going to lower the overflow saddle so more water gets stored up in that particular basin during significant rain events. So we're doing a little bit of modification, and that should be done within a week or so as well. So, but it's not going to stop traffic or anything. It's not going to be any.
Thank you. Great job.
Closures.
Elections, Public Relations, Councilwoman Uzelak.
Well, we do have an election coming up in November. I believe it's the first Tuesday for 2 wards. Ward 5 and Ward 7, if I'm correct. So those are the only two wards in Merrillville that will have an election 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Thank you. Economic Development, Councilman Pettit.
Excuse me, Mr. President. Back to Councilwoman Uzelak's committee. I just want to invite the council members to, if you're interested, this year's gala is November 23rd at 6 o'clock at the Avalon Manor. Once again, we'll be handing out the Policeman of the Year and the Fireman of the Year, along with some other awards in Crown Point. So let Linda know we've purchased 2 tables. So if any of the council people want to go, please see Linda or Pat about that. Economic Development, I actually have no report tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Utility Liaison, Councilman Span.
No report.
Thank you. Abandoned Properties, no report. That concludes committee reports, general orders. There are no first reading ordinances. Second reading ordinances, ordinance 19-24. An ordinance of the town of Merrillville, Lake County, Indiana, authorizing additional appropriations within the 2017 GO Bond Road Improvement Plan, road improvement that was originally appropriated in the annual budget.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Barron, second by Councilman Pettit, that we approve ordinance 19-24 second reading. Is there any discussion? Because this is a second reading ordinance, we'd like to open it up for public comment. Is there any public comment on ordinance 19-24? Any public comment? Ordinance 19-24. Any public comment? Roll call.
Span,
Yes.
Minchuk,
Yes.
Uselak,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Pettit,
Yes.
Lamarcus,
Yes.
Hardaway,
Yes, motion carries 7-0. That concludes second reading ordinances. Resolutions. Resolution 19-40. A resolution of Town of Merrillville, Lake County, Indiana, transferring monies of the 2019 budget within the Fire Hazmat Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Barron, second by Councilman Span, that we approve resolution 19-40. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Resolution 19-41, a resolution of Town of Merrillville, Lake County, Indiana, transferring monies of the 2019 budget within the Parks General Fund for the purpose of purchasing a playground through the 6535 grant from Sinclair Recreation Game Time.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Barron, seconded by Councilman Pettit, that we approve resolution 19-41. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 19-44, resolution of the Town Council, Town of Merrillville, Indiana, approving various matters in connection with the lease of a new community center in the town.
So moved.
Second for discussion, Mr. President.
Motion by Councilwoman Barron, second by Councilman Pettit, that we approve resolution 19-44. Open for discussion.
Mr. President, to our bond counsel who's in the audience, Mr. Rampolla, is there a chronological order to this, Randy? Because we did not conduct the RDC and the RDA meeting. Those were taking place after. Should these following 2 resolutions be postponed, or can we act on them?
You can act on this evening with the RDA and RDC acting tonight.
Afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
Bond counsel and I had already.
Okay. All right. Just for clarification.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 6-1.
They're going to discuss it at the meeting after this.
Resolution 19-46. Resolution 19-46, yeah. A resolution of Town Council of Town of Merrillville, Indiana, transferring monies of 2019 budget within the local road and street fund budget.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Barron, second by, was that you, Marge?
Yes.
Thank you. Second by Councilwoman Uzelak, that we approve resolution 19-46. Okay, I didn't see that.
Mr. President.
All right, I'll get it back to it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Resolution 19-45, the resolution of Town Council, Town of Merrillville, Indiana, approving a lease between the Town of Merrillville Redevelopment Authority and the Town of Merrillville Redevelopment Commission and addressing matters related thereto.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pettit, second by Councilwoman Uzelak, that we approve resolution 19-45. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. That concludes resolutions. Any BZA action?
No BZA action.
Thank you. Any old business? Any new business? We have a letter from Town Engineer, Mr. Stephen King, recommending that Merrillville continue with contracts with First Group Engineering, Inc. regarding the Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project, East Side sidewalk and curb ramps along Broadway Avenue, Service Road 53, and Lincoln Highways, US 30. And VS Engineering regarding the 2019 Safe Routes to Schools project, Catherine Street, East 73rd Avenue to East 70th Avenue, East 70th Avenue to Broadway, to Connecticut Avenue, and East 71st Avenue, Broadway to Delaware. Mr. King.
Yes, Mr. Hardaway, both firms, starting with First Group Engineering, have applied for federal funds through NERC in regards to Resolution -1902, the town's completed street policy. We received the total cost of the project is $775,000. We've secured $620,000 through NERC, 80% of the project, with the remaining 20%, $235,456 to be paid for by the town upon completion. First Group has already done the west side for us. That's all funded locally. The east side is going to be federally funded. Also, VS Engineering, there was a call for projects, Safe Routes to School projects through NERC 2019. It had a total project cost of $1,177,275. We were able to secure 80% of the funding for an amount of $941,820, and our 20% matching fund will be $235,455 when it's all said and done. So I think we should approve the contracts and get them moving forward. You know, we've already secured quite a bit of federal fundings through NERC, so I think we should approve the contracts.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Barrett, second by Councilman Pettit, that we approve the engineering contracts for First Group and VS Engineering. And am I missing one here? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any other new business? At this time, we'd like to open it up for public comment. If there's any public comment, we ask that you come, state your name and your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments? The lady that's leaving.
I will not be before you long. I was told I have 2 minutes, right?
Three.
We'll give you 3:30.
They tried to cut me short. Well, I am Gina Jones. I am the judge of this great town of Merrillville, currently and still. I just wanted to say thank you publicly to all of you. I started December 30th of 2010, and there's been a lot of development through the town court from then till now. For those of you who didn't know, the governor selected me to assume the bench in Lake Superior Court, room 6, going to replace Judge Para, who's since retired. It's bittersweet because I feel like I have grown here in the town, and with help from many of you on this dais right now, I will not forget any of you for always being supportive of me, no matter what I tried to do, whether it was the truancy court, which is still going strong, and all of the different projects and the things that we've had to do here in the town. I'm not saying goodbye because I still live here, so I am very vested in what happens in the town.
Taking your big screen?
No.
That's in Rich's way, I think.
Well,
We have their own big screens at the county court, so.
I did try to lower it. I sent them up there to kind of push it down a little bit. No problem. No matter what happens after I leave, whether you keep the court open or you choose to close it or whatever is what your heart's desire, if you do decide to keep it open, I do hope that all of you take the time to get to know the people that would assume that seat, because I consider myself leaving a great legacy here, and I'd like to see it continue if it stays open. And I think I'm almost out of time, but if any of you have any questions or any comments about anything going forward, please know that I'm right down this road just a little bit more. And my swearing in is November 22nd. So I will be here all the way up until then. So don't, if you need anything, let me know. Thank you.
Congratulations, Gina.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Announcements. Board of Zoning Appeals will meet October the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Abandoned and Blight Properties Committee meeting October the 24th at 2:30 p.m. Stormwater Management Board meeting November the 6th at 4:30 p.m. Plan Commission Workshop November the 6th at 6:30 p.m. Town Hall will be closed on November the 11th, Monday, for Veterans Day, and we will have our Veterans Day program at 11 o'clock here at the Town Hall. We have a World War II veteran that's going to be the keynote speaker that day. Next Town Council meeting will be held on November the 12th at 6:30. And I got one quick question. Mr. Minchuk resigned, and we haven't even discussed his replacement yet.
I'm still here.
I'm talking about the senior Minchuk.
Mr. President, I'd make a motion that we, with Karen and Chaz in the audience, and I know they did an article, real nice article, Jeff, on you and your family.
Right, yeah.
I would make a motion that we have a deadline set of November 15th for interested letters to serve on the BZA. That'll give Pat 30 days, a little less than 30 days. Joe, you think that's enough?
I'd give it exactly 30 days.
Exactly 30. So we'll miss October and November with a fifth BZA member.
Right. Well, here's my question though: who's up next year for?
Sheila would have to check
I will check for you. Thank you.
All right, because I guess I would ask you to bend your motion, Sean, to say that whatever's open, that we just put them all out there at the same time.
Put them all at the same time. All right.
So we could be done.
Well, why don't we have Sheila research it and extend the deadline to November 30th, and at our December meeting, we can appoint them and they can start the December meeting and then on into January for the full term. Is that?
Well, I think their term has to expire first before
before the
yeah. But you can start getting interviews.
Letters of interest by November. Okay, Pat and Sheila, November 30th.
Thank you.
And how many ever there are, we know there's one with John retiring.
Right.
And if there's a second one,
I know there's somebody up on the police commission, and I'm probably sure somebody's up on the
plan commission. Might be two actually.
Right.
They're usually a Democrat and a Republican in each. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Before I make a motion to adjourn, Mr. President, I want to announce that I'm going to immediately enact the RDC meeting. So please sit tight. Okay. With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. This time, I'd like to call the meeting of the Merrillville Redevelopment Committee.